to tell me what happened last time.
Nice.
Well, what happened last time is a few couple things, we'll say, as well, Wanda spoke to her daughter as she seems to be having a not great time about the whole situation, understandably so, after Victor made the choice to put his life on the line to ensure his loved ones would be safe and cared for. Wanda tried to console Cammy, even asking her to, well, I have a couple ideas, all of them more likely reckless, so I need you to stay, well, safe, somewhere where I don't have to, well, if things go wrong, maybe then you can either help me, or as she was really thinking, like, at least you won't get caught up in this whole mess as badly as you already are. But Cammy wasn't having that, refused to not be a part of this, and that she wanted to help. And even with Wanda's reassurance, Cammy left, decided to just do this on her own, or at least had an idea about how to do this. And Wanda was left alone, and well, adding more lists to her problems. She did talk with Darius, let him know about Cammy, and he reassured her that he called a few friends, that things are about to get, things are about to heat up. And of course, Wanda wanted to make sure she finished her meeting with Claire, as she did ask her for a reading. With her, well, she asked about Victor and the best way to hopefully save him. And Claire saw into her numbers as things kept moving percentages up and down, and realized that there was a problem to be solved. There was a possibility to get it solved and, well, save her friend. But right now, it's in flux. Not necessarily giving Wanda reassurance, but not giving her despair either. As she thanked her for her service, and Wanda decided to go out and try to see if there's anything she can do other than just sitting around. While that's going on, Villarago is just waiting a bit. Wanda finished the job up for him, so he had to ensure his meeting with Scarlet went out without a hitch, as he made sure he had backup, make sure he had people watching him to make sure he didn't get murdered by her, and ensure that a conversation would be had without him dying. As Scarlet came with her bodyguard and her big air of arrogance, as Villarago decided to give her a deal, a very nice one, from Villarago. Chance where she goes under tutelage of him, we'll say, work together. Well, and after he's gone and realize his whatever he wants from this place, all it's gonna be hers, basically. A bit of blackmail, some might say, a wonderful deal, Villarago would say, as Scarlet took it in before offering her own counterpoint, pointing out the fact that the angels aren't really your friends, and they'll more likely throw you away eventually. And maybe we can work something out here, instead of just, well, screwing each other over, essentially. But Villarago seemed to be not necessarily miffed, but amused by Scarlet's offer, even laughing at her a bit, saying, "Your friend of yours, I don't think can deal with the angels, and I rather this seems to be wants to go with a stronger one on the side of this conversation." And Scarlet shrugged her shoulders, said, "No, thanks, but I'll see you around, I guess," as she took her leave. Villarago shaking his head sadly as he gave the signal to essentially kill her, as if this wasn't going to work out, that was the plan anyway. And, well, you can hear sounds of fighting in the background, but Villarago wasn't too miffed, as Calypso asked if that was the best idea, boss, but he seems to believe so. Though he did take it into account of, well, Calypso's unease and not wanting to engage with the angels for a number of obvious reasons. Regardless, you'll look into it. He promised to try to see if there's someone outside of this, more like the set of people who would just try to get them both killed, as he went out to go see, take his leave and maybe see what Cassian's done to that ambush he was to give for Scarlet, and came across a puzzling sight. Scarlet alive and well, and a couple of, well, interesting characters. A man with swords, a guy with a cane, some kid with shadows and whatever else going on, and Cassian knocked out and tied up. Surprise for him, as Scarlet gave one last taunt before decides to watch them leave, and turning to Calypso and realizing he needed to talk to Marlock immediately. And then, of course, Claire went off to Inico, having gotten the contact from Abaddon, and decided to get some training or get some insight about how to, well, better handle her powers. As Inico had a chat, mostly about Claire's feelings overall, and what does she see, and what does she really want overall. Seems Lydia is a possibility, but that is just another shadow over the darkness that New York will lead to. Freya as well with that. Or there's the lights, the all-consuming burning light that she could possibly fall into as well. Or maybe even a balance. Chance for equal opportunity. both extremes possibly, but a way where there won't be as many suffering possibly. And maybe a bit of comfort as mentioning that, well, as an oracle, you are not bound by fate. You are the one who makes it. As Claire took in her words and took in that phone number, contemplating what it means to be evil and what it means to be, well, what her enemy is, or who will be her enemy. As she decided to give that number a call. Uh, a man by the name of Enigma, as she called it, who seemed to be very frustrated. We'll say that someone else has his number, goddamn oracle, as he would say. And she mentioned that she doesn't really know what she wants, but she was told that he would be the better, well, better balance, we'll say. As he revealed that he is actually a hunter. Well, he works with hunter groups, an information broker mostly, and well, his biggest target right now is Freya, as Chicago's been lost, but trying to stop her from spreading her power and influence here. And well, there's a chance we could work things out together. Though in working with him, means that you're not entirely on Lydia's side. You don't have to necessarily kill her, but you're gonna not be working for her best interests, and what that means. And of course, she seemed to tentatively say all right. And I also said, reach out to me when you make some progress with that Lydia and Freya thing, as they decide to come together to hopefully have a possibility for doing whatever needs to be done, I guess. Wanda is still reaching out to other people and was finally able to get in contact with someone, a Fae, more likely who will give her information about what she can do with the situation with Victor. As they reveal that they're actually, no, we're not going to give you what you wanted. My monarch wants to speak with you. Maybe come to some kind of agreement, you know? And of course, your daughter's with us, so couldn't really say no. As Wanda went in, following the Fae behind, as she stepped into, I believe, the spring court and met the monarch there as Cammy was sitting beside her chatting, and there was Maya as she would introduce herself, revealing that she just wanted to have a family dinner to chat, we'll say. Your daughter is safe and sound, but let's discuss business. As she said, she was willing to let Victor go as long as, well, she helps her out. Help me out by getting a chance to talk with Darius alone. Wanda, of course, everything going on, was not too happy about that reaction. Demanded that she's not going to just betray someone who helped her, and she already can tell this is mostly going to cause him harm. As Maya just whinged a bit, saying that it's not really going to be her fault or Wanda's fault. She just want to have a conversation. If he says yes, that's just on him, you know? Just because he's a self-sacrificing dream doesn't mean like it's anyone else's, guilt for that. But Wanda steadfast said, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to leave. Where's my daughter? I'm going to get the hell out of here. As Maya shrugged and told Cammy goodbye and said goodbye to Wanda. Though before that, I almost forgot. Wanda's offered, said there's many different ways this could work out. Instead, I could give you my magic, I could give you whatever you want, but I'm not going to give you someone else for this. And I seemed to take interest in that, as she decided, give me your little sanctum. And Wanda agreed, as that means that Victor will hopefully be saved and will be able to take her daughter home. And Wanda already knows that means her life is more likely forfeit, as Thomas, the Burgomeister of the section she works in, will probably not be too happy about this. And Wanda rather just tell him instead of getting surprised and find out some other means. And I think it ended with Villarago, actually. One last scene as one last client popped in, Cammy, asking for a favor, a chance to get Darius alone, to help, something she's not familiar with, but a way to trade Darius for her father and get her mother out of trouble. And she needs someone who she believes would have the skill set for that. And I think that's where it ended last.
Damn, Cammy. You are a hustler, Cammy. I respect it.
Yes, and it's only gonna get worse because I'm looking at that Kushim tier winner and.
What do you mean? You took me out of that one, motherfucker. I lost, remember?
No, it's still there. When did you lose?
God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. The sheet does not lie. The Ministry of Truth has decreed. So yeah, I think we're gonna resume from that conversation as Villarago. Listen, your client has made a request.
He has. After she leaves, I'll turn to Calypso and I'll just say, "So, what do you think about this?"
sort of shrugged and said, "You're the deal maker."
Yeah, but I value your opinion.
She seemed freaked out, desperate.
Obviously. I more mean the ramifications of getting this Darius guy to give himself up. What that means for us, specifically.
I'll be honest, I don't know. Could be good, could be bad. Depends, I guess, how bad it gets for him, and if, let's say, the people who like him will blame you or someone else for it. Listen, this guy has a reputation for suicide missions, so wouldn't really be even the first time. You know what rumors say about him?
What?
It says, I'm not sure how true this is or not. Sounds kind of bullshit to me, but people who believe it. He was part of a group that reached heaven itself and injured one of its most powerful angels around.
Wow. Considering what Ian and his buddies just did to that group of angels a few hours ago, it wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, listen, I've never heard of anyone. Well, that's a lie. I've heard of a couple of cases where people fucked up an archangel, but anything beyond that, I don't really buy it.
Wonder how he did it.
Well,
Maybe you'll tell me.
rumors say the power of true faith, whatever the fuck that means.
True faith, huh?
Yeah. Again, spoke with a couple of people that went there. They all kind of saw it. Seraphim bleeding.
You spoke with people who went there and did it.
Yeah, there was like a bunch of guys.
Okay. Cal, that's not a rumor anymore. That's apparently just something that happened.
Listen. When you deal with as many supernatural bullshit as I do, listen, did they go somewhere and shoot something that looked like an angel and it bled? Yeah, most likely, I believe that. Do I believe it was a fucking god ruler of heaven and they actually did, like, I don't know. That part is iffy. You've seen these fucking angels, just how secretive they are, how powerful they can get. And
I also saw him get wiped by a bunch of mooks working for an unknown force.
you saw a bunch of low-level foot soldiers, man. No, I spoke to someone who's well, he didn't fight. He was mostly running for his life. Was he encountered one of the more powerful angels. This giant fucking dude, golden crown, flaming sword, and all. In one swing of that blade, just made fucking charred corpses wherever he went. You're telling me 12 guys with shotguns took down someone even more powerful than...
Well, either A, they were completely high off their minds and they had no idea what they were talking about. likely Snark. B, there's something behind this power of belief thing.
He shrugs. Says, well, this guy Darius has some connections to the drug world, so who the fuck knows? Maybe it was just drugs.
Well, why don't we go ask him, huh?
Well, guess can put the word out if you want. Or we can go to the club and see if we get lucky. Meet up with him there.
Any way we could do it without it being obvious we're the ones looking for him? He's an angel, right? Why don't I pray to him?
She kind of like gestures for you to do it.
All right. And he will, like he did last time, try and pray to this Darius guy.
What does your prayer communicate other than, well,
Oh, I am a soul in need of help. And this help, and also someone that someone I know needs help.
what? I think it's time for Red to lose. As
I'm sorry, Red. Your daughter made me do this.
as you can hear the very familiar noise of Wink as he sort of lands in the middle of your office.
Turn to Calypso and say, "That worked."
And he like looks at you arms crossed and says, "This better not be a fucking scheme."
No, it's not. Actually, you apparently you're familiar with this girl, Cammy.
Yeah,
So I got some bad news.
it's the one you sold out, right?
Okay, that's a whole scenario. I knew the Fae were after her, and I thought that the angels could fuck with each other a bit, you know? Listen,
Never occurred to you that they might just put their differences to the side. The angels don't. He just kind of stops himself, takes a deep breath, and says, "What do you want?"
not exactly what I want. It's what she wants.
Does she want?
She wants her dad back. Apparently, he's been nabbed
We're working on
by
that.
the Fae. Well, it turns out that the monarch that they're making a deal with is willing to make a trade. Apparently, that's all I've been asked. Pass along the message. She's willing to trade her dad for you. That's all I know. But honestly, the problem is, I feel like if I do this, I don't know who your friend is, but apparently, there's someone I don't know, and I feel like she'll kill me if you do this now. See, that's where the problem. That's where the whole I'm in trouble, right?
He kind of chuckles a bit and says, "I have many friends that'll probably kill you if I die on this." I have to be a bit more specific.
The one who Scarlet was being all coy about.
Hmm.
She said, "Oh, join this mysterious benefactor who have no idea who it is, and I won't tell you a name."
Yeah, I feel like that's the one you should worry least about. I have more aggressive friends.
Shit, like who?
No. Dragons, demons, half angels, half who knows what else.
You're a popular guy, Darius.
Yeah, I am a popular guy. Which is why it wouldn't really be in your interest to screw me over on this. Lie to me or try and deceive me in any way.
Cross my heart. I mean, who knows? Maybe it was someone disguised as. I don't know. But How about this?
What's your beef?
Go and
in
ask him yourself.
What's your beef in all of this?
All this? I'm just a guy who helps people out. People come to me, they want information, I give it to them. I like making deals with people. That's all it really is.
People include Heaven, a couple of the Fae.
Try not to see past skin color, my friend.
Yeah, what about ideology, though?
Couldn't tell ya. I thought that whole thing. I can't say I spend too much time, on the inner workings of heaven's politics, or the faith. Then. I mean, I know a few. I've had a couple drinks with a few. They make good on their word when you make them sign the right contract.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm just an informant.
No, you're not. But word of advice, I will help out Cammy, but my honest advice is to figure out what you actually believe in. Start drawing some lines.
Apparently, there's a war coming, and I gotta pick a side. What and apparently there are.
He'll say, I wouldn't know anything about that necessarily, but you keep dancing around with dangerous people, screwing over others, dealing with souls. Do you even understand the fuck soul merchant is?
A middleman.
A recuperator. People who...
Do I know what that word means?
Not... someone who gets things back that they're owed.
Oh, okay.
I'll say... You make deals, you make people sign over their souls. Get empowered by them. Everyone does it. Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy preying on the weak and the desperate?
No. In fact, I'm actually the one who's keeping him employed, usually.
Why the fuck don't you try and use your business for something better?
Like what, my friend?
For you to be able to answer that, or for me to be able to answer that, I need to know what you actually believe in, and making deals is an approach, not a stance you take on the world. Because right now you just look like a profiteer. A greedy demon that just tries to accrue as much as he can with as little risk as he can. Now that's a worldview you can have, but not one that will make you happy.
I'm gonna be honest, Darius. It's kind of all I know.
Never too late to learn new things. No. Let me just Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, listen, talk to that girl, Cammy. Make sure it was actually her who won the commission. Because now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was an illusion. Faye or Trixie like that. So double check, make sure it was actually her, and then
Full nod. Looks at you and says, one last piece of advice, I guess, unsolicited and all. Even if you win, you stay afloat. You cruise on by, enjoying the luxuries and comforts you get. It's never gonna be the same without people you care about, without friends to share that happiness. Wealth alone is quite meaningless. Eh. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
As he will
Good
fly
luck
away.
with good luck with all that. And what's a friend, Cal? I get the whole concept, but like, why do people always going on about it?
Someone you enjoy spending time with, even though you have nothing to gain from it.
Well, then wouldn't the enjoyment of spending time with them being what you gain from it?
I guess. But then you kind of have to help them out, so.
Yeah. So you help people out so that they'll spend time with you?
No. I believe, if I'm gonna quote the feathery guy, to help people out, even if they hate you, even if they try and kill you, he did that once, by the way. He did that once. He was a demon that tried to crack his skull, and he sold his soul in exchange for her freedom. And if you think she's his friend, quite wrong on that. Doesn't really talk to him that much. Or
So why would he do that then?
I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid, but apparently something about redemption and trying to help others. That's why I said, like, I don't think there's any benefit to this friendship. It's not a tangible one. You're friends with someone because you want to be liked. It's not really friendship. It's just kind of.
Yeah, seems kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, well, does seem to help other people.
Are we friends?
Loosely.
That sounds about right. Well, should probably go and talk to some of the demon lords. See if we can't put our ear to the ground and actually see what's going on in this city.
She nods.
I'll send a miss at them. See when she's free.
Can you repeat that last part?
I'll send a miss at the Moloch. See when she's free.
Yeah, Calypso just kind of shrugs. Up to you. Yeah. Well, let's see. John did return from the Fey realm, so I don't think you're wounded. I think they healed you. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. Victor healed me with the power of true brother love.
Yeah, so you're back. Well, it's been a couple of days since your kidnapping. Time does flow
Yeah.
differently.
Oof, it does. Um,
So
John would have, I think. Oh, were you about to say
no, no,
something?
no. Go ahead.
John would have tried to reach out to his hunter contact.
Ah, yeah. Phone him up. He's gonna answer. Been a while. How are you keeping up?
Uh, I'm. As he looks around his destroyed workshop or whatever the state it is in. Uh, I'm good. Yeah, yeah, just fine. Uh, I was wondering if you wanted to have some drinks or something. I meant to ask you about something.
Oh, um, I can have make some time. Why don't you drop by my place in an hour or so?
Yeah, that's perfect. I'll see you later. Uh, then yeah, I imagine I know where his place is.
Yeah, he has a little sort of office.
Um, I don't remember how bad of a state is my workshop in.
I think it's kind of trashed, but not
Yeah,
like the
not
building isn't
too bad.
leveled.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, then I guess he'll spend some time fixing some shit and then he'll head over to the, what's his name?
They must,
Dimas?
yeah.
Dimas's place. Yeah.
We'll walk in. He's for some drinks. Says, "Oof, you look like you've had a rough time."
John smiles a bit thinly and says, yeah, don't really know where to start, but I'll have a cold one if I can. And just how close of a relationship do I have with this guy?
I'm well. He's pretty much been the guy that if you ever sort of got like in trouble with the supernaturals or like somebody was harassing you too
Mm-hmm.
much, like he would help you out. He's helped you out on many
Mm-hmm.
occasions. Probably had a couple of drinks together every now and then.
Mm-hmm. I think is he also the guy that I was working on the project for? Like the weapon I was working on?
Most likely, yeah.
I think it's him. Okay. Um, well, I have recently come into some information, and do you remember? Did I ever talk to you about my daughter, Annie?
Mentioned her in passing once or twice.
Yes, yes. And he smiles again, like very faintly. Well, apparently the grave I've been taking care of for this past 10 years has been empty of a soul, quote unquote.
He
And
he doesn't seem too surprised by that.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, I know who has her soul, and I think I need a way to find some information about these demon lord.
Have a name?
It's Moloch.
Oh, that's a tough one.
What do you know about her? Him? Her?
Yeah,
Is it?
she's an old one, powerful, has agents all around the globe, has a few in New York as well. Sure.
I see.
It's negotiating for a soul. That's some fucked up business, Johnny.
I know. I mean, I don't know, but I have to try, right? I just can't let her rot there or whatever it is she does with the souls. I don't know how. I didn't even know there was a possibility for this to happen.
Want the
I
honest
just
truth?
thought she was there resting, or whatever dead people do.
Want the honest truth about what happens to most people when they die?
Well, a nice little bird told me their soul either gets snatched by heaven or
There's so many demon
hell.
lords out there. There are mages, monsters in the night. So many people. A soul is quite a precious thing. I don't think most of us just pass on when we die. Get turned into whatever batteries someone needs to power whatever fucked up ritual they have.
But if I do manage to get her soul back, can't I help her pass on in some way? Or will she always be up for grabs?
So you can't, I don't. I usually people spend a lot of energy figuring out how to not let that happen. Yes, we could ask a mage; they would know better. Angels, if you have such fucking contacts, they're like the main competitors for demon lords, killing them wherever they can.
Okay, angels, mages. I think I can find at least one person that might know.
Kind of hard to find an angel, but there are plenty of mages in the city. I would recommend you find someone you actually trust because you might just steal her away, even if you succeed.
I see. Do you know of anyone who specializes in these things? I mean, I don't have to specifically trust them with it for now, but I just need some information. It would be useless, not useless, but if I
Oh,
do
I
manage
will
to
remind you. Like
bargain for her.
I don't know why I keep asking him because you literally know Wanda. Like I don't.
I do know Wanda, but I do not know what Wanda does. But you are so right.
Like
It's fine.
he will just have to go around and ask people and might bring a stranger, and you know Wanda is invested with you
Yeah,
already.
no. You're right. She does owe me 2 debts. I'm looking at you, Red. Yeah, but it's fine. I think it's been 10 years, but it feels like I'm still learning a lot about how the world actually works. There's never time to stop.
Listen, man, I try to keep you as uninvolved with this shit possible.
Well, I feel like I can't be uninvolved anymore, Dimas.
He like nods.
But I think I understand better now. Thank you. How have you been the past 2 weeks?
Business as usual. There's a couple of fights that broke out between some of the locals, but nothing too bad. It's almost a bit too quiet. Maybe it's just the beginning of the year.
I guess I'll enjoy the quiet. Never know what's going to happen next. But I am almost done with that little project you gave me.
He'll like nod.
As he thinks back to his workshop, and hopefully they didn't just fucking stomp of it. Fuck you, Portia, you fucking skank. I will get you.
Feel free to drop it by my place whenever it's done.
Yeah, sure. If there's anything I can help with, you can also reach out to me. It's fine.
He'll kind of nod.
Yeah, I guess Johnny will just drink his beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
switch because, well, I think Claire, you had some things you wanted to do.
Yes, I do have a list, though. I don't know if I'll get to all of it. I do eventually want to talk to Abaddon and Lydia, but I know I also have a day job, and I don't think I've been doing that.
It's been around.
But in
Listen,
particular,
it's still like beginning of school year. Has vacation even ended for the how? That's true because I don't know.
in particular, I do want to talk with one of my friends, Monty.
Yes.
Just either call him or like if he's around when she goes to work or something, just try and like get a conversation with
I
him.
can't believe you're making me pull up a 2021 calendar to figure out fucking work
Oh my
day.
god. You don't have just tell me what make it up.
No, you don't understand. When does the school year begin for college kids in the fucking US?
I don't know, like a week or two after New Year's. It does depend.
It's I can look it up.
Ah, don't worry. It's a Saturday anyways.
Okay, well, I'll just call him then.
As yeah, he's gonna pick up. Depends on the state. I hate that expression. It's like, hey, what's up?
Hey, it's been a while since we've talked. I was wondering if I could pick your brain about something if you're free.
Sure, of course.
There's this coffee shop around the corner. I feel like we've been there before. Could you meet me there?
Sure, be there in like 30 minutes.
Okay. See you soon.
As yeah,
Yeah.
or
When he arrives, she's probably like drawing on a napkin, like a chart. She's making like a pros and cons chart.
to the table, he looks at you and says, "Hey, busy already? I see."
Yeah. Sorry. I know you're probably trying to enjoy your vacation, but I don't know. I value your input, and I feel a little confused about some things that have been happening.
Good.
So, you know about my particular quirks? How I can see patterns, things, figure them out. I have essentially 3 paths in front of me, and she's like drawn these like a T-chart with 3 paths, and listed under like one of them is like Lydia, and just vague stuff associated with what Ediko had talked to her about, like shadows, and where once there was multiple, there will be one. And then in the middle, it's like the path of fire, shadows are burnt away, blinding light. And then the right one is more of like the balance, but there's like the extreme on either end. And she kind of just like hands the note over to him. I'm a little confused because looking at this one, and she like points at the last column, looks the most, like possible of actually happening, or the best outcome, I guess.
Yeah, like looks at all of them again. Okay.
Sorry, I know
Yeah,
this is
okay,
dropping a lot on you at once.
Yeah, let's take this one apocalypse at a time.
Hopefully it's not apocalypse, but
It kind of sounds bad.
it does sound bad. So right now I'm aligned on this side, and she circles like Lydia's name. All of my visions and everything have been about her. Kind of like the epicenter of everything I've been seeing until recently.
Okay, and
When
who's the
suddenly
epicenter now?
I've learned about this guy, and she circles like the third column with like Enigma stuff. She doesn't have his name written down, but just the information.
And how do we get from here to Purged in Fire?
That is the one that I'm least connected with. I don't know. This is just a possible future, I guess, or a path.
Yeah, but I don't. How does A lead to B?
Good question. In terms of this fire, brimstone, blinding light thing, that one I don't know how it connects to me right now. But in terms of the other ones, I have a connection with both of them. I've had visions about both of them. So I don't know. I always assumed that they were leading me to the destination that I needed to be, but it's sounding more like I need to make a decision between them now.
I mean, I guess you always trusted Lydia, right?
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean,
Then why just not approach her with this, like everything on the plate? It seems like a lot.
it is. I don't know. I have a feeling that if I approach her about it, and I don't have anything to really base this off of, but I feel like she, I don't know, maybe would be upset or dismiss it.
Remind me, you mentioned Abaddon as well to him, right? And that whole explanation.
Yeah, in vague terms.
So I'll say, well, why don't you bring this then to the other guy? Points to whatever on the paper is like indicated for Abaddon.
I do plan on speaking with both of them, but I kind of wanted to organize my thoughts a bit first.
This is an attempt, I guess. No offense,
Yeah.
but like, ooh, this is. I'm just. This is bigger than their normal stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hence why I feel like I'm kind of drowning here.
Yeah, I would listen. Unless there's a reason not to tell them everything, I feel like maybe you just point all of this out. Maybe they know how A leads to B, because right now I'm just looking at assumptions, but not how we get there.
Right. I think I get that. Yeah. I don't know the actions that it takes to do or to lead to these things, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like with your set of visions, it's not always clear, but like at least maybe you should try and understand that as well. And if you trust these people not to, screw you over, they might even appreciate the honesty.
You have a way of saying things that makes me feel silly for just spiraling in these thoughts, but
That's why I'm here.
yeah, thank you. I I'll talk about it. I guess I don't know why I suddenly felt like I needed to be all secretive or something about this.
I understand that part. It's just that that's why I asked if you like trust these people to not like do bad stuff to you.
The only one I know that's involved is Lydia. So,
In the worst case scenario, just ask leading questions, I guess, right?
sure, I could do that. I'll try and find some kind of balance of sharing information while trying to get information. I feel like I've stepped in something that I have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah. Listen, you can always, I guess, get in a car and just drive across the state line, but this kind of shit that might like follow you.
No, no, from what I've seen, it's a bit more than just New York.
That's not concerning at all when you say it like that.
I don't think you need to worry. I don't think this is anything happening right now.
Ignorance is bliss, they said.
Yeah. Sorry. Don't mean to bring your attention to it then.
Chuckles a bit and nods.
Sorry, I'm reading my notes trying to figure out what else I was going to say. Oh, when you mentioned whether I trust these people or not, this new person I'm in contact with, I don't know, he seemed to trust me very quickly, which could be a good thing or it could be concerning. But I haven't really dealt with many people outside of just like myself or Lydia when it comes to these visions before.
Claire, I've talked to a few of the supernaturals. If someone seems to trust you too quickly, either they know way more about you than you realize, which is bad, or they're just lying to you and making you feel like that.
Which is bad.
Which is at least
So-
understandable. Listen, would you rather they know a lot of secret stuff about you, or would you just rather they try and manipulate you a bit?
I don't know. I don't think I have secrets.
He just shrugs.
Do I have secrets?
Well, then it must be they were just trying to earn your trust. I don't know.
I feel like it keeps coming back to I need more information.
Yes.
That seems to be the root of it all. Oh, I'm gonna become like a hermit in a wizard tower collecting information instead of doing anything about it.
Well, I would suggest you talk to people instead of just collecting information. Exchange information might sound better. Might also speed up your process.
Not great with people, but I can try.
Kind of nod.
You don't have a formula for how to handle social interactions, do you?
If I would, I wouldn't have told you. I would write a book and sell it for millions.
Maybe that's something you should work on. But yeah, thanks.
No worries. Let me know if you need anything else.
Yeah, definitely. And you as well. You help me out a lot with stuff like this, so just call me anytime.
I will.
Feel free to dump your problems on me. If I've got the weight of the world, might as well add more.
Might dump test assignments on you.
Oh. I did my time in school, but you know, it's only fair at this point.
As feel free to clear one of those debts. Spend it on him. And also mark XP for Mortalis if you don't have any. But yeah. Are you gonna try and approach one of them with this and try and gain more info, or like show some of your hands,
Yeah.
see how they react? And if so, are you gonna go to Abaddon first or Lydia?
That is a good question. I was planning on going to Abaddon first and then talking to Lydia.
Yeah.
Also, I owe Monty 2 debts. Do I owe him another or do I
No.
owe him one less? Because
No, you owe him debts? I'm pretty
yes, I
sure-
do owe him 2 debts.
I thought
already.
it was the other way around.
Nope.
You're cooked.
Oh.
Is that 3 now?
It would be 3. But why would we
Cool.
have?
He's the one I started out with because I go to him for advice on visions.
Okay. Oh, damn. I should have marked those on my... Because I thought it was the other way around. Good to know. Let me also...
Yeah, I started changing the way that I word them on my sheet to make it clearer.
Yeah. Now I know about them as well. I should also mark the other guy. Same problem with the
Yeah.
werewolf.
Yeah, I owe one to him and then one to Abaddon. I think those are the only ones
Yeah.
I owe.
So yeah. Yeah, at the very least, Abaddon seemed less dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could go find her. As you do know of an entrance to the Inferno Club. As soon as you kind of enter, you approach the staircase leading to the VIP area. The bodyguards just gonna like step to the side, let you pass. As you walk up to her, and she greets you with a smile. Well,
I'll smile as well.
hope you've been keeping well.
I have. I wanted to come and thank you for connecting me with Iniko. She had a lot to say.
She always does.
I think it helped. Yes.
Yes, I find her brand of honesty confusing but refreshing.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. She helped me figure out that blockage. Why I couldn't see past it. So I do owe you for that, but just wanted to come thank you in person.
And now, how do you feel now?
Well, I have more information, although it's not necessarily clearer. She talked about how I'm not necessarily bound by fate, that I make it instead, which was a new perspective I didn't consider.
Donald sort of nod, listening intently.
There was also, in particular, like 3 possible paths she said that I have to make a choice between. One, I guess that is the path that I am already on with Lydia. The second, I don't really recognize connection. Mentions of fire and a blinding light burning away shadows. And then the third was this vision I kept having since New Year's. Seemingly a balance between the two, but I don't know.
Blinding light does sound interesting, but how do you feel about these options?
I mean, it feels like the right decision is clear in my mind, but
What is the right decision then in your mind?
This third one, this balance of the extremes, but it's still new to me. I don't know enough about it. And I've already been working on this towards this other path with Lydia. But hearing what Iniko said, I'm not sure that's exactly where I want to go. I feel wrong for saying it, honestly.
Why?
I don't know. The sense of loyalty.
I can understand that, but at what cost?
Yeah, it's kind of been made clear to me that I didn't put much thought into that particular side of things.
I learned an interesting lesson recently. I think it would apply to this case of yours. You see, more power people have, the more they become corrupted by it. Sometimes that power doesn't necessarily have to be physical or magical, it can just be financial. Power to influence others through a wide web of connections. It appears to be a very interesting balance to see where someone can be pushed to, how much power can someone be given before they start abusing it, cutting corners, satisfying personal desires.
Do you think all power corrupts?
It's a interesting question. Recently, I've been shown that at the very least, it seems that once people get stripped away of their powers, they become nicer, more personable, I suppose. But I'm not a big advocate of this. I'm the wrong person to talk to.
No, I appreciate it, regardless.
No, you see, because I would totally encourage you to help Lydia ascend and take over the entirety of the New York area.
I'm not planning on cutting ties and not helping her anymore. So
In fact,
if you don't mind me asking a bit bluntly, I was looking into Freya for Lydia specifically, and a connection to you came up. Are you supporting her? You mentioned a web of connections, and
yes,
it sounded familiar.
we are collaborators in certain regards.
Okay. Figured that might be the case.
That's why it would be in my best interest for her and Lydia to share power, dominate the entirety of the East Coast.
Do you think they would share?
No, I think they would try and one up each other, but I think some friendly competition is going to do everyone some good.
Yeah, I also kind of figured that might be the case. Lydia's not. She's not a team player, but it's not a
Lydia would
characteristic I
step
would.
on your corpse if it would benefit
Yeah.
her.
It's yeah.
For me, it doesn't matter whoever they both end up. I would rather they both keep power. Too much power in a single individual tends to be problematic for those above them. On the other hand, it would be amusing to see how some of the other factions will react to a hostile takeover of New York.
Specifically hostile.
I think mages, demons, and other curious folk in the city are gonna take nicely to an outsider waltzing in, taking over power.
Unlikely, but the chances are never zero.
So there's a comfort in dealing with the devil, you know.
How's that?
Well, they know Lydia. They know she's a bitch. They also know that she can be reasoned with. They might know what she wants, how to talk to her, how to not talk to her. But in comes this
She's
outsider that the complete unknown. Meanwhile, it is known that she's already subjugated one large city. Probably could do it again.
so the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Yes. Now, I also know Freya can collaborate quite well with underlings, so she's not probably gonna just walk. She's probably gonna try and plant the proxy.
Proxy. Who would be her proxy?
Could be Lydia, could be someone else, could be someone starting from quite low and slowly working their way to the top. Wouldn't be the first time.
I suppose if her influence is so spread out, that would make sense.
She nods.
And you're just what, backing the winning horse, or do you genuinely believe in what she's trying to do?
I need my allies to be strong. I don't really care for who owns which piece of land. My business will go on nonetheless. I have My agenda here is not to prop up one vampire over another, but it is to merely ensure that my enemy's plans don't come to fruition. And neither Freya nor Lydia are backed by any heavenly agents.
Heavenly agents, like angels?
She nods again.
That wouldn't happen to be the path of fire, would it?
I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. There's a lot of things that burn quite hot.
It's true. It was just the blinding light that drew my attention, I guess. That specific phrasing.
A lot of things that can quite bright as well.
It's true. I shouldn't assume. But I did promise you a reading before I got distracted, so I'm willing to do that again.
Nods and says, well, I have a name. And I need you to give me a reading on the certain individual.
Okay. A name. Which name?
Was he's called Darius.
Darius.
And I need to, let's just say recently he caused me a bit of a headache, and I want to make sure he's not going to cause me more headaches.
Right. Are you willing to share any more information so that I could see clearer, or would you just like me to go off of his name?
I mean, ask away. Yeah, if you want a picture, I guess.
You could describe the way he looks, his personality, anything that would help me connect, I suppose.
He looks quite tired. There's always this smug look that makes you want to punch him. He thinks he's better than you, and likes to preach a lot. Have I mentioned the smugness yet?
Maybe once or twice, yes.
He also has
So,
he has let's just say he's allergic to living. Likes to stupid dumb things. Enjoys well, one may call it suicide mission every now and then.
all right. I think that's enough to get a read on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, Daryl.
Yay!
Never doubted you.
Good.
Never doubted.
That sigh of relief says otherwise.
Let me. I always need to do a bit of research for your fucking videos.
You're welcome. Keeping you on your toes.
I know. This will be simple. As you grab a piece of paper. You start like drawing on it, as if your hand is moving on its own. As you can see, you are drawing what seems to be the outline of New York. Recognize poorly scribbled Manhattan, poorly scribbled Brooklyn, and so on. And, well, after you're done drawing the contour, you just write a single thing, single expression, and large bold letters somewhere over Brooklyn. E equals MC squared.
All right.
You can ask a follow-up question.
I gotta make sure I actually know what E equals MC squared is. Okay, yeah, it is. I know it's Einstein's theory.
Yes.
I put mass and energy. Okay, cool. Follow-up question. Jesus Christ. That is like such. It's both very specific and very vague.
Yes, I know. I thought about this hard. We're gonna suffer in this together, Joe.
Okay. So I have to ask a question that would have like a numerical answer.
No, you can ask any follow-up questions. Like you can ask clarifying questions as well.
All right. Is there a specific point over Brooklyn that this is written over, or does it just seem to be Brooklyn in general?
No, you can actually quite realize it's, if you were to contrast this with a real life map of Brooklyn, you realize the writing is over what looks to be like a large cemetery in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely referring to that specific area. Red has figured it out. Don't worry, Red.
I will show Abaddon this little drawing and like circle the area of the E equals MC squared and write cemetery next to it.
That's something, I guess.
It's a location. I don't know if it means anything to you. Cemetery in Brooklyn.
Huh.
And something about relativity of mass.
Interesting. Why is this related to fucking Darius? Ah, this.
It's the speed of light. Does that?
You will need the speed of light. Well, thank you. I will have to, I guess, question him on my own. He is not here right now.
Right. I hope it helps.
It certainly will. As yeah, she's gonna. I'm gonna remove that favor you owe her.
Cool.
Yeah, she looks good. Well, if you want to roll, figure someone out, I guess.
I can try. Might as well.
I believe in you, Jill.
Yeah, you can ask 2 questions.
Oh boy. Does she seem to be worried or
Yes.
like, okay. Worried about Darius or just worried about this?
She is.
Or
You
something
think
else.
she's worried about Darius himself?
Okay.
This keep in touch. Do let me know what you decide to do with the fate of the city.
Oh, that's heavy, but yeah, I will let you know.
As you can see, there's like this pit of darkness that opens beneath her, and she sort of falls in and disappears from sight.
Holy shit. Okay. That seems handy.
Speaking of which, Wanda, how are you doing, Wanda? Feeling good? We're feeling good tonight.
Great. Great.
Feeling good tonight. How's that
You
cotton
know that
candy?
fucking bad. It tastes like shit, Great. That's what it tastes like. I took another
Well,
bite. It does not gotten better.
it will get better. Your situation.
Mm.
Hopefully. Let's see. So I think last we left off, you did kind of were planning on you set up a meeting with Thomas, where you're
I didn't
planning
get a chance to set up the meeting. I was gonna go towards Thomas, but yes.
Yeah, I mean you can. Do you have favors with him?
I think he the other way
Yeah,
around. Give me
yeah.
one second.
Do you have two debts? Unless you also fucking. I like how everyone has their own little.
Hmm?
Everyone has their own writing fucking system. Like, I can't tell if he owes you debts or no. I'm gonna ask you, does he owe you debts?
Give me one second here. They owe he owes me a debt. I
Okay.
have one debt.
Yeah, so you can call upon that debt and just kind of have that meeting with him.
Oh no, Thomas is actually taking 2 spots actually, I believe, because that's why I have 2 debts with him on the thing.
Yes. So,
Okay.
so then he owes you 2 debts.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. Yeah, I mean you can use one of those and just schedule a meeting with him immediately.
Yeah.
I think yeah, you leave your sanctum as you're walking into this large corporate tower.
Mm.
As you get welcomed into this like meeting room with him. Well, I was told it's quite urgent.
Yes.
Sorry, give me a moment to rant. Yes, Mac, I would organize it, but a problem is there's like 3 people, maybe 4, who respect the nomenclature. Then there's like 3 people I know at the very least who will in fact not respect it. So I'm not gonna bother.
It's also like I had another one, but Grunt only introduced him last sessions because I didn't know who the other one was as well.
Yeah.
I believe is that what's his name? Dorian, thank you.
On my defense, I did just forget about that one. But yeah, so see, like you sit down from across the table from him. Say, so, how urgent are we talking about?
Very urgent, Thomas. I wouldn't normally waste your time with this one, but I think it's best I tell you now instead of finding out much later.
I'm all ears.
Well, you're going to be upset about it, so. Well, I made a deal with the Fae. A big favor. And in exchange, they want the sanctum.
Well, I mean, I suppose you're after that you're gonna go and tell me that the demon lord wants your soul.
I don't think I'm that popular at the very least. No, not yet in that regard.
You said made a deal, so you already agreed to this?
Yes.
Tell me your sanctum now is in the position of a Fae?
Now, not until the deal is done.
Ah,
You made a promise that once that's the case.
that's good, that's good. Just grabs his phone and like texts a message. Well, how can I persuade you to not do something so foolish?
Well, the deal was in an offer to help save someone that the Fae have in capture, and she believes that she can get them out.
And can I not maybe counter offer with any other suggestions we can maybe work on? As who is this someone that's so important that it would create such a valuable thing for them?
I believe he knows about the situation with because Wanda made the deal with him initially, right? To make sure.
What situation?
Like the reason why she came to Thomas in the first place is to find safety from Victor finding them again.
Yeah, if you would have told him, then yeah, he knows.
Yes. It's Victor.
Isn't that the man you've been hiding from?
Yes. And things have gotten messy.
Are you gonna be more detailed, or should I like ask very specific questions? It's like
I
he's
apologize.
clearly getting annoyed.
It seems the Fae have found out about Cammy, and Victor had also found out about Cammy. We were coming to a compromise, we'll say, but the Fae were persistent. They seemed, well, they were going to do anything to get their hands on her, and Victor made a deal, without my knowledge, to exchange his life for her safety and ours. And of course, you can see that I'm not too sure if how much. I'm not going to bother with the details like that, but regardless, apparently whatever life he has is in their hands, and they want something from him that he only can provide.
Would you happen to know what that is?
They believe that he can make another Cammy.
Hmm. I see, like his phone kind of like buzzes a bit as he like picks it up and message he got. Ah, speaking of the devil,
He's raising an eyebrow at that.
I feel like you are making some rather rushed decisions. You
That's
understand that
understandable.
the sanctum, not just the sanctum, but the mishandling of that would create a crater in the middle of Brooklyn. And, well, we all know that Fae are not the most careful. I would rather not have one of their kind hold a gun to my head.
She grimaces a bit, but she nods.
Sounds like you haven't thought this completely. You are
Oh,
clearly in distress. A lot of things have happened in a short amount of time. Why don't you take a step back and try and rethink things?
She clearly looks angry for a second before trying to calm herself down, as she is trying to take his words in. You're not wrong. Things have been hectic, and I did lose my temper. She annoyed me, and I offered her something else just as powerful, but she seemed to want to cause the most amount of trouble.
I think this is a family matter, so I think discuss this all the members involved.
Very well. I said, I wanted to make sure to come to you before anything else, so I will take your advice.
Well, so did your daughter, apparently.
What?
I texted my security to let her through. Apparently, she at the front desk demanding an audience.
God damn it.
She is old enough to understand what's going on, and
Oh. Very well then. I guess I have to have a conversation with my daughter.
if you want,
I apologize
can.
for the interruption.
If you want, I can leave you to discuss this alone. But you were about to hand the Fae a bomb, and
I'll talk to her here.
he like nods. So, do you want him to leave the room or stay? As you chat
I
with
think she'd
Cam?
rather. I think she'd rather do this without Hidemir.
Okay, because that's what he was like. Okay, do you want me to leave this alone? You're like,
Yeah, no, she was saying that about Cammy, like the whole situation with Cammy. She was like, "Oh my god," basically.
yeah. So he'll sort of walk out, and yeah, I was gonna say Mac about to shoot her instead. She was not living this building.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's like, let me just get my sniper in place right quick. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Cammy would walk through the door, looking quite sort of determined. I will not apologize.
I know, Cammy. I know you won't. I would ask what you're doing, but apparently you're being
I'm
just as reckless.
saving you and Dad.
What do you do? What have you done, Cammy?
I talked to Darius, or well, I had someone else do that for me, but it's done.
Cammy.
No, if I have to choose between him and Dad, I choose Dad. And
I know.
if I have to choose between both of you and him, I will choose both of you double over.
I know. I know. I know. I didn't want you to.
I didn't want me to get in trouble, so I asked Villarago to talk to him. Technically, I'm not involved.
It seems you've all thought of all manners of things and talked to all manners of people then, without me knowing.
He like nods
yeah.
and smiles.
What happens? What about the consequences this could lead to, Cammy? Darius has people who also care about him, who will probably choose him over us any day.
She sort of kind of shrugs and says, "Listen, they understand. I don't know."
Cammy, there are worse outcomes than. There are always worse outcomes. I didn't want you to have to face those or deal with them at all. I was being reckless. I know that. We're running out of time.
Phone starts buzzing as someone's calling you. I think it's do you have Leon's number? I don't think you have Leon's number. Maybe you
Yeah,
do.
Leon gave me his numbers when he's just like, "Hey, figure out
Yeah.
your shit and don't I understand if you back out." That was the last time we talked.
It's Leon calling you.
She gives Cammy a look of a look before opening the phone, turning away a bit. Hello?
Oh boy, I hope you have a good explanation.
I have many explanations. Which ones should I start with?
Why is the fucking... What shit do you have underneath that fucking cemetery?
A lot of things. A lot of things that.
Yeah.
Because I assume that's.
Something that's related to energy.
Ugh. Well, let me make sure I look at my notes for a second, Grunt. Because I believe it's like a gas, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I can make a big boom.
It is a volatile place. Used to hold many things, testing of that nature, and it's very toxic and very dangerous. The fumes in there can usually kill a number of people.
Oh, cool. And then they can also explode.
Of course.
Okay, and how the
Right.
fuck does this relate to Darius?
Well,
The
I
fuck?
was making a deal.
We're making a deal?
Not with Darius. Apparently some monarch or other. Some spring monarch?
Oh, fuck, not that bitch.
Yeah, that's an apt word for it, but yes.
Well, no, back off. Were you like about to sell fucking
No.
explosive gases to... Okay.
Oh, no, yeah. I was gonna sell my sanctum actually. So yes, I was about to sell explosive gas to the Fae in order to save Victor. Yes, I know what it sounds like.
It sounds very stupid.
Yes, rash, stupid, and full of emotion. I offered something else instead, but she seems to want to cause the most amount of damage.
They're fucking fake. That's what they do.
Yeah. I'd hoped my magic would have enticed her, but no. Apparently she's a lot more creative.
And how does this relate to the chuckle fuck?
Well, she at first she offered that she wanted to have a conversation with Darius, which I assume would lead to more trouble.
Okay. Okay, so what's the status now?
Well, she's gonna look at Cammy because I assume Cammy told her, like you said, like, "Hey, I made a deal instead, and it's already done,"
Yeah.
basically. But apparently, I guess my deal is off now that she's gotten something else in exchange.
Oh my fucking god. Don't tell me don't tell me that's Darius.
I won't.
Okay. What did she get then?
I said I won't say it.
Oh my fucking... You're doing this with me now.
Sorry.
I
But
think
yes,
I think this is hilarious.
No, actually, it's not. I'm very upset. I'm trying to keep myself cool right now, and it's not really working. But she has Darius. Apparently, she's going to have her conversation. I'm not too sure what she intends to deal with him, but apparently she was adamant it was just a conversation. Whatever happens is up to him, essentially.
He's probably gonna kill himself once again.
Yeah. So, I'm not too sure what the cemetery has to do with that.
I'm
I
gonna
could go
say
there-
this right now.
Mhm.
My advice, you might want to fucking, I don't know, figure out a way to appease Abaddon, because she might just lose his shit.
This is also something I'm worried about as well. Is there any way to actually appease Abaddon, or is that just shit creek right now?
I usually just avoid her when she is mad. I don't think that's gonna work for you.
Well, you're not giving me much in the way of figuring out how to deal with the situation at hand, then.
I'm sorry, am I the one who made a deal with the fucking Fae and then like somehow involved Darius in this shit?
I'd rather he had not involved himself at all, actually.
You and everyone else around here, get in fucking line.
Yeah, apparently I'm learning that a lot lately.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna inform Abaddon of this. And I'll let you have your family reunion. And if you want to approach her on your own, that's cool. If not, that's you do you.
I have a feeling that if I try to avoid it, she'll just drag me in there anyway.
Listen, I'll be honest, this isn't the first time Darius does shit like this, so I think she's getting used to it.
It sounds very tragic and annoying.
Well, I wouldn't know. So up to you if you wanna help out in this mess or not.
How exactly can I help?
I have no fucking
Jenny.
clue. For that, you probably have to talk to Abaddon herself, unfortunately for you.
Well, I'll go deal with the family reunion as you said, and I'll talk to Abaddon.
Good luck on that front as he'll close the.
Yeah, she just sighs for a minute, rubbing her face. Well, it's done now, regardless of whatever happens next.
As yeah, Cammy will just kind of nod.
She will get up basically, uh, and as she goes to walk out, she stops and like puts her hand on Cammy's shoulder. She's like, "You know, I love you, right?"
I love you too.
Okay, let's go.
To walk out, Thomas is sort of waiting in the hallway.
Well, Thomas, good news. Nothing's happening to the sanctum. No exchange of the sanctum is taking place.
No, but you must see how this looks for you, my dear.
Absolutely. I understand if
Such.
you wish to. Yes.
Well, I think a compromise can be achieved here. I am willing to let you continue to operate. I know how important your sanctum is for your own projects, but I will have let's call them insurance policy be there as well. I've sent a message to the conclave. They will be sending someone that will ensure that no hostile forces can take over. And of course, it will prevent you from trading the place in the future as well.
She thinks on this from what before nodding. It says, I think that is probably for the best.
Wonderful. Here's her phone number. Might call you.
Do I get a name at the very least?
I believe she goes by the name of Miss Bates.
What do you... Miss Space, you said?
Yeah.
Miss Space.
Typed it in the chat for you.
Thank you. I'm sorry to have caused you so much of a headache, Victor. I'm not sorry, Victor. She won't say that. That's me. I'm sorry to have caused you so much of a headache, Thomas. But we'll get out of your hair.
Of course. And she'll sort of step to the side.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her leave.
As yeah, you'll walk out of the building. As outside, sort of almost waiting expectantly. Well, you see Victor.
Yeah, she would probably try to keep herself a cool head as she pauses for a second, but just continues forward as she look some more to make sure there's no like injuries or anything like that, just to see if he's all right fully.
He seems fine. I think I have a bit of an understanding what's going on. I'm here to relay an important message.
Okay, that sounds ominous.
I don't think you will
What's
like
the-
it. That's why I'm rather nervous about it.
Okay, shoot, I guess.
I believe you should do nothing about the current situation.
May I ask who? Can I ask who exactly decide to relay that message to you?
It was Darius himself.
That's of. Okay, okay. I'm sure that I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. God damn it.
But this is not the hard part, though.
Okay, what's the hard part?
I think we have to convince, or at the very least, distract Abaddon from not doing anything for a bit.
Yep, yep. You know what? I was already thinking that. I was already thinking that with the conversation we're gonna be having with her later. Okay. I'm oh sure. Yes, of course.
There is a silver lining, though. I think I have an idea on how to distract her.
Okay. I would love to hear it.
Well, she has a demon here that works in the city for her, who's by the name of Scarlet. Talk with her. We figure out what. Apparently, Moloch has a couple of agents in the city. Abaddon and Moloch have had a few months ago some conflicts. We ignited those conflicts, it might distract her a bit. While Darius and his friends do what they have to do.
Okay, this is gonna be a gamble then. What was the fun types?
He like nods.
Okay. I'm gonna get some ice cream, and I think we should get to work almost immediately, because she's gonna be informed about what's going on, probably right about now, and she's not gonna be happy about it.
I'll say, well, speaking of which, looks at Cammy. I think she needs to be part of this too.
There's a moment where she clenches her fist before glancing at Cammy for a second before nodding. It seems if I don't, she'll. Why not?
I would rather her talk with us than with Irago.
That we can both agree on.
Yeah, he'll nod. Some ice cream and relax a bit before figure out what the fuck would be the next steps. Claire, are you doing anything after the meeting with Abaddon?
Yeah, I'll have my next meeting in my list with Lydia, if she is available.
Yeah. You leave the club and as you meet with her, she'll sort of greet you.
Hey Lydia, how's the
Well,
I guess thing with Freya going?
things are moving slower, so I'm gonna say it's only been like a couple of days, I think, since you talked about that.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of
So,
nights.
yeah, it's like things move slow at this level. Haven't been able to meet with her yet.
I been able to meet with Abaddon a little bit. She asked me to look into her future or something to show her my abilities, and I kind of biffed it in front of her, which was embarrassing. But I think I got a read on her eventually, or at least a general vibe. I definitely have confirmation that she's working with or backing Freya. Don't know if those are the right words, but she's involved.
A curious thing. Demon lords rarely get so entrenched in the real world politics.
Yeah. I mean, I get the feeling that she's just trying to, like, I used the phrase back a winning horse earlier, which something about wanting allies in power, but not too powerful.
Do you know what demon lords, how they operate, how they work? What they
Not exactly, no.
each of them has like their own pocket dimension, their own realm.
Hmm.
Experts call them hell circles.
Oh,
That
right, I remember.
that hell circle is a world unto its own, a world you can shape your thoughts and dreams. You can make it however you like it. Now, to continue powering this world and your own influence over it, Demon Lord needs to use souls as fuel. Human souls, monster souls, doesn't matter. As such, a lot of Demon Lords are always on the lookout to trade, buy, or obtain through other nefarious means the souls of individuals. And they don't really care who rules what city, what trade networks it made where. They just care about their, well, soul economy, I guess.
So if they're connected to somebody powerful with a lot of connections, that opens up more opportunities for them. Maybe that's the way that she's going about it.
Maybe. There's another thing with Demon Lords. They tend to be old and paranoid. They rarely focus their
Please.
attention on such small areas. They work global scale, if you will. And very
Right.
rarely do they want stability. Stability creates less opportunities for them. That's why they will very rarely back someone completely. They will only do that until
If
they'll.
it will cause more chaos.
Yes.
So, is it such a good idea to look into this?
Well, I
As,
want to.
like,
Abaddon of yours seems a bit strange, to say the least.
right, I don't exactly have a lot of experience with demon lords, so I'll
You've
trust you on that one.
met with her how many times by now?
2 or 3 times. It's been pretty easy, honestly.
It's already uncommon. The fact that she approached you with any contracts, any offers.
No. Just curiosity is what it seems like.
You can see how that doesn't reflect a demon mindset, but a much more human one.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
That's my curiosity. Is her involvement with real world politics also more human one than the demon one. And my third question would be, where does she get the souls if haven't spotted how many soul collectors, how many imps, how many businesses have you spotted from her?
I don't know. I don't know if I would know exactly what to look for. Nothing that stood out anyway.
I asked around a bit, and I believe either at this point I'm more or less convinced she is quite young. And well, quite powerless compared to some of the others. So, I'm not sure an alliance with her is gonna benefit me in any way.
It's hard to say. It's kind of an unknown quantity right now.
If it weren't for Freya and the fact that you claim she's been being backed by Abaddon, I would completely dismiss her at this point. Freya has been quite successful across the Midwest.
She has, but maybe it's not, at least entirely, because of this Abaddon. There were other factors in my vision that were adding to this growing number that related to her growth, her reach, her power, however you want to look at it.
She can help me take over New York. I'm more than willing to cede other parts.
You're not worried she's going to try and take over what you have instead?
Well, possibly. There's only so much a single individual can accrue. They need competent allies. I know this area best. New York is not a beast that any vampire can tame.
That's true.
I have New York completely under my control. I am the best burgomaster to achieve that goal. I don't care if she controls large swaths of land that are useless. Quality over quantity.
But I don't know. I have concerns about these. So if she took over, what is it, Chicago and other areas so quickly, suddenly, she's certain to have a list of enemies. What if she brings them here?
Nods and says, well, I don't plan on making this alliance a public one.
So you really do think that this is the best path to work with her?
I think so. At the very least, one that forwards my goals the most.
You need her to do that?
Much as I like to believe I am the strongest of the rulers of New York, if the other four unite against me, I can do nothing but crumble. With her on my side, I can begin to move more openly against them.
Are you really concerned the other Burgermeisters are gonna unite against you?
Of course. They view me as a threat. If any of us would start to move more openly, the others would oppose them.
It's the nature of things, I suppose.
I'll nod.
But there's something that Abaddon mentioned that I keep thinking about. She mentioned specifically her enemies, and I don't know if they're the same as Freya's enemies. Mentioned angels. I don't know a lot about angels.
Not the most outspoken or obvious groups. I'm not sure if there was another question for you after that.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, have you dealt with them before? I would assume they're intimidating, especially
Not really.
not
At
really.
least not outwardly so. Haven't had the haven't dealt with them. I've heard of them and their movements. I wouldn't say they're intimidating. I mean, sure, they fly and can swing a flaming sword around, but I've seen demonic soldiers take them down.
Have you noticed an increase in angel activity in the city recently?
Takes her head.
If it hasn't started already, it might start soon.
I don't see how this affects me too much. As far as I'm concerned, angels tend to get involved in the affairs of those that mess with souls, human souls to be more specific. And I don't touch that part of the business. As far as I'm aware, I am pretty far below their list of priorities.
So you don't like their. Hold on, let me try and rephrase what I was going to say. So, like, a possible widespread conflict in the city doesn't concern you because it's angels?
Yes. That's the short answer.
Okay.
The long answer would be, of course, it concerns me, but it does not worry me.
Oh, okay.
I doubt they will start blowing up buildings. If
Immediately
some
thinks back to the E equals MC squared thing. Like, oh, fuck.
listen, that's
Um,
Fey business. That's Fey business.
I don't know that.
Darius, they don't recognize Darius as one of their own.
I was told Darius was an angel,
Yeah.
but not by Abaddon.
Yeah.
But okay. I guess I'm a little bit more hesitant about it, but if that's the
Bunch of supernaturals and angels want to duke it out in the alleyways. Let them have it.
Even if you're going to be allied with someone working with a demon lord who deals in human souls?
That's her problem, not mine. And our alliance is one of convenience. Her problems start affecting mine, and I'll take action. But right now, I haven't actually talked with her, so I don't know what this alliance even will look like.
Right. More information. Just have a bad feeling about it. Because we don't have any information about what she really wants other than what, more power?
Vampires are not always complicated beings.
Fair enough. You know Freya better than I do.
She like chuckles a bit and says, "Well, we'll have to see about that."
So you have a meeting scheduled with her
Yes.
sometime soon? Alright. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You keep me updated if you learn anything that would affect me and my business in the more concrete future.
Right. I guess since I've expanded what I've been looking at, been a bit muddled recently.
She nods. Do take care.
I will. I'll let you know if I see anything.
The last scene I'll have is Lurago, you're gonna get a phone call maybe a couple of hours after your meeting with Darius.
Yep.
As you don't recognize the phone number. Hear a man's voice on the other end says, I heard this is Lurago, demon who does deals and has no allegiance.
A bit harsh, but yeah, that's I'm him.
Well, I'm sorry, do you have some new allegiances I'm not aware of?
Well, no, but I mean, come on. Just because it's true doesn't mean you should rub it in my face. Honestly, I just heard that there were sides only recently.
There were sides since the beginning of time.
Yeah. Well, what can I do for you, good sir?
I'm looking to franchise.
Franchise.
I think you might be a good individual to collaborate on this. Yes.
I'm always interested in a new business venture. What do you got on the table?
Said, if I understood correctly, you deal in information. I
That's
also
correct.
deal in a lot of information. Problem is, unlike you, my good sir, I have, well, a particular vested interest. I help only certain groups of people. Now you can make this an exclusive thing and you might benefit, or you can keep your neutrality and see how it goes for you.
I'm pretty sure my apparent neutrality is running a little thin. What clientele are you serving, good sir?
Hunters.
Hunters, huh? Nothing but respect for those guys.
So, are you willing to throw your hat into the ring? Guarantee a stable source, a stable stream of clients. There's always in the need of info about other supernaturals.
I see. So, if I'm to get this straight, you're looking to sign an exclusive contract with me to use my business for the sake of hunters. Is this correct?
Yes. Will no
I
longer
see.
help out angels, fae, vampires, and other sorts unless, well, you file it through the appropriate and gets approved. And that approved means by me mostly.
Of course. So, here's the thing. I would like to ask you to view this from my point of view for just a moment. Now, you have to understand that you are an unknown person, promising an unknown amount of clients.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to go on as a trial period here to see if this is sustainable?
Of course. I think a month should suffice.
All right. I'll try out this partnership with you for the month, and if it turns out your group is getting me more targets on my back than it's removing, or if it's not getting me the type of, well, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Business that I require, then, well, I guess you can try and kill me, huh? I know Hunter's not a huge fan of my folk.
Don't worry.
But-
I will make sure that they become your biggest fans.
All right. Well, then, got anyone in mind already?
Well, that's up to you. Do you want to have a discussion with something more reasonable, or should I send you the craziest of my clients to you?
You know what? Send me the most reasonable one, and immediately after the crazy one. Let's see how far this gamut runs, huh?
Quite well. As he'll also say. So, have any ideas for a franchise name? I actually thought about this. You're my first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I'm gonna need a name from you first, good sir. You do seem to have me at a disadvantage.
Call me Harris. Mr. Harris.
Harris, huh? An information group specializing in hunter clientele run by demons.
You, I was about to ask about your personal hobbies, but are you aware with about hmm, hmm, mortal hobbies?
Like working on cars?
I guess so, but
Yeah, that's the only one I know. No, not really a car guy. Which is ironic, considering my cover business. I just said it was ironic.
well, it kind of says, what about call ourselves Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division?
Wait, let me write that down. Strategic Homeland Intervention and what?
And Logistics Division.
Shield?
I mean, a catchy name. it's gonna make people laugh. They're gonna underestimate you because they're gonna think you're just kind of goofy.
Hmm. You know, we'll workshop it. We can go with that for now. I'm thinking something with the acronym that kind of spells out demon, but only in consonants. No?
We're not just demons. It's a lot of people.
Yeah, but I am, and I think it'd be funny. You know, demons helping hunters. It's hilarious.
Suppose
What are
that
you anyway?
I'm just a guy.
Oh, come on. Nobody around, nobody who walks through my door is just a guy.
Oh.
Although,
I didn't
you
walk
are
through
only
your door.
caught. Fair enough, all right? But if we're gonna be business partners, at least after the month is up, I would hope for a little more candidacy.
I guess I will, I guess, let you know for a month. We'll see if you survive my craziest client.
Here's hoping.
Take care then.
You too, Mr. Harris.